The US Men's National Team 2026 World Cup roster is officially out. And considering the fact that we are hosting this event and soccer has been in an exponential rise since the 1994 World Cup, one can argue this is the most important roster in US Men's National Team history. So, did it meet expectations? Is this a good roster? A bad roster? Let's talk about it. Hello. If you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Manager TV. Now listen, today we have a 7 Things We Learned episode where usually these are after a game the US Men's National Team plays, but today we're going to do it for Pochettino's 2026 World Cup roster. The same roster that leaked a few days before the actual event. The biggest leak since the WikiLeaks. This is incredible. It was unbelievable. It's kind of funny, and we're going to talk about that in the video. Now, right now, on a scale from 1 to 10 with 5 being average, what do you rate this roster? And also make sure to drop a like in this video if you haven't already. It helps the channel quite a bit, so do it if you want to. If you don't like me, you don't have to. You can hit the dislike button. I don't mind. I don't judge. Let's roll the intro, skim through the roster, and then go through the 7 lessons. All right, let's do it. Okay, so let's skim through the roster because I'm not going to go through everything or give all my takes about it because I did a whole stream about that a few days ago when it leaked. And if you're wondering why the background's not the same, I'm not in the regular studio. I'm in the TST tournament playing for $1 million. So hopefully by next Monday, I'm a millionaire if I win the TST, right? $1 million, but if not, it's whatever. So let's skim through the roster. All right, goalkeepers, we have Chris Brady from the Chicago Fire, Matt Freese from New York City FC, and Matt Turner from New England Revolution. Defenders, we have Max Arfsten from the Columbus Crew, Serginho Dest from PSV, Alex Freeman from Villarreal, Mark McKenzie from Toulouse, Tim Ream from Charlotte FC, Chris Richards from Crystal Palace, Anthony Robinson from Fulham, Joe Scally from Borussia Mönchengladbach, Austin Trusty from Celtic, and Miles Robinson from Cincinnati. Midfielders, we have Tyler Adams from Bournemouth, Sebastian Berhalter from Vancouver Whitecaps, Weston McKennie from Juventus, Christian Roldan from Seattle Sounders, and then we have Brendan Aronson from Leeds, Christian Pulisic from Milan, Gio Reyna from Borussia Mönchengladbach, Malik Tillman from Bayer Leverkusen, Tim Weah from Marseille, he can also play fullback, he can also play wingback, Alejandro Zendejas from Club America, and then the 3 forwards, the 3 center forwards we have would be Floating Balogun from Monaco, Ricardo Pepi from PSV, and Haji Wright from Coventry. And that's the roster. So now let's go to lesson number 1. All right, lesson number 1. US Soccer's marketing team is abysmal or stupid. But I don't like calling people stupid, so I'm not going to say they're stupid. I don't know them. But listen, for months, multiple months, these people marketed Diego Luna as almost like the face of the US Men's National Team. It was kind of ridiculous, right? Because think about it for a second. If you were going to market the US Men's National Team and you don't really know the official roster, wouldn't you go for players that are considered locks? Like Luna was never a lock. I thought he was going to make it, but he was never a lock. If you want to go through locks, why didn't you just market it around Pulisic, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, and Balogun? Unless these guys got injured, they would be in the World Cup. On top of all of that, these Muppets, and I'm using Muppets because it's a British term because the Brits were the ones that leaked the roster through The Guardian. They were not able to keep a secret until Tuesday, which was the actual roster reveal day. They have like a 3-hour show. They had like Fox do a 1 hour or 2 or 3 hour coverage, all of that crap. But it was kind of dead and it was killed off just because you leaked the roster 2 to 3 days ago. Now, obviously, US Soccer didn't want it to leak. I'm sure about that. But why did they allow it? Who leaked it? What happened? So, moral of the story, or what we can learn from this, is their marketing is bad, and honestly, it makes sense. That's one of the reasons why soccer doesn't grow so much in this country, and why the US Men's National Team is not even the most popular national team in this country. Now, before we continue to lessons number 2 and 3, which they're great lessons, you're going to love them very much, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you download Underdog because we're going to have a free-to-play game, which is a bracket, okay? And in that bracket, you are going to be playing against me. So, quick word from the sponsor of this video. We'll be back very soon. Don't go anywhere. So, the biggest soccer event in the world will happen here in the United States this summer. Or shall I say, the biggest sporting event in the world. And you know what can make it a little bit more exciting? Underdog. And the game I like to play at Underdog is called Pick'em. And it's very easy to play. I just click on it, scroll to the soccer section, pick a player for a specific match, and select the stats I believe will be lower or higher. It's very easy to play. I usually pick the downside of the stats because hate watching a player is much more fun. Trust me. But then again, analyze the players, his stats, who they're facing, and how he has been doing before you make your pick, so you can make sure to win. Underdog also has their very own predictions market. And you can download the app right now using the link in the description of this video and the promo code TACTICAL. And in the process, you'll be helping the channel and yourself. Because new customers get $50 in bonus entries after they play $5 and use the promo code TACTICAL. We got very creative with it. So again, don't forget to use the link in the description and the promo code TACTICAL. And thank you very much, Underdog, for sponsoring the channel. All right, lesson number 2 is the midfield worries me quite a bit. Actually, not the entire midfield, mainly the double pivot, right? Because we have Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie that can truly play there. Out of the attacking midfielders, I think Malik Tillman can kind of play there as a central midfielder if Tyler Adams is next to him. But Weston McKennie very often plays as an attacking midfielder for Pochettino. So does Malik Tillman. So here's the issue. The backups after that are Sebastian Berhalter and Christian Roldan. Let's say Tyler Adams gets suspended or injured. Who plays? I mean, you know the answer. Probably Roldan or Sebastian Berhalter. Or what if Pochettino wants to play McKennie as an attacking midfielder? Who plays next to Tyler Adams? Sebastian Berhalter? Roldan? And here's the biggest question of them all. Who's the backup 6? Who's the backup CDM? Like if Tyler Adams can't play or he needs rest, right? We ran him to the ground in 2022. Who is the backup 6? Let me know in the comment section because honestly, I don't know. Would you be comfortable with Sebastian Berhalter being the backup 6? Roldan? Even McKennie, that is a brilliant player. That's not his position. That's not Tillman's position. Who the heck is the backup 6? So yeah, I'm very worried about the midfield. Extremely worried, right? Especially if you're going to pull an underdog story or a dark horse. You need a strong defense. And you need a good back line. You need a good 6. You need a midfield that protects that back line. I'm very concerned. And that brings us to lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 is that Tyler Adams, even though I don't think he's our best player, he became our most important player. If he goes down, we're screwed. There's no backup, right? You're going to say, what about Chris Richards? He's crucial. But you can still play McKenzie and Trusty, and you'll be okay. Like, the drop-off is not insane. There's a drop-off, but it's not insane. What about Pulisic? I mean, I think on offense, Balogun is more important these days, for example. But Balogun, if he goes down, you still have Pepe, you still have Haji Wright. If Pulisic's out, you still have Gio Reyna that can create, Malik Tillman, Alejandro Zendejas. Tyler Adams, that is lesson number 3. Tyler Adams, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's the most important player in the team or not, it doesn't matter. He has become the most important player in this team. Now, lesson number 4, and hopefully if you made it this far, you already dropped a like in this video. It's about Gio Reyna. Looking at the roster, looking at our opponents and bracket, I think Gio Reyna will be very important in the group stage because we need someone that can pick a lock. Like Malik Tillman is a 10, but he's not a pick a lock like 10. He's more of a goal scoring 10. Christian Pulisic, who knows? The form hasn't been great. McKennie can play make, but that's not his best attribute. So Gio Reyna is our best playmaker. Now, mind you, against better teams, that might not work. They might hold possession. We might have to defend more. But when we play specifically Paraguay and Australia, there will be multiple moments in the game where we will dominate and play against a low block. You need a guy that can pick a lock, that can pick a pass, find the guy through the channels, whatever it is. That's Gio Reyna. So in the group stage, I think Gio will be crucial for us to advance, looking at the opponents and looking at our roster. In the knockout rounds, unless we face a weaker opponent in the round of 32, which that could happen, right? Round of 16, or even if we make it to a quarterfinals, which who knows what will happen, Gio Reyna won't be as useful. So don't be surprised if you see a lot of Gio Reyna in the group stage, not against Turkey, but Australia and Paraguay, and then his minutes tank after, okay? That's a lesson prediction. That's a prediction based on what I'm seeing in the roster and the opponents we have. Okay, lesson number 5, and I saw a lot of people complaining about Miles Robinson. I'm not too concerned. I don't think he'll play. I'm much more concerned about Berhalter and Roldan, even Arfston to a certain extent, because Arfston, he's pretty much the first backup after A-Rob. And I don't think Arfston is even a left back. To me, he's a winger, but he'll probably play as a left wing back. I'm not worried about Miles Robinson because we have so many players ahead of him, right? Even under Pochettino. McKenzie, Trusty, Tim Ream, Alex Freeman, all of these guys, McKenzie, all of these guys, based on Pochettino's previous selections, starting 11s, there's a lot of evidence that they're ahead of Miles Robinson. So he won't play. Now, would I rather have Noah Kai Banks if he wanted to be there? Sure. But I think complaining about Miles might be a bit of an overreaction. Now, I could get burned later on. He could play, and if he plays, he could cost us a game. I would be totally wrong, and that's fine. I'm not concerned about it now because based on the data and evidence that we have, Miles probably won't play. Okay, now Sebastian Berhalter, Roldan. I would be stunned if they don't play. I'll actually at this point not be surprised if one of those two starts at least one game in the group stage. So those are my concerns. Miles Robinson, I don't like the call-up, but I'm not too worried about it. Okay, lesson number 6, okay? Looking at this roster once again, looking how the season has played out, and even USMN's national team performances over the past 2 years, including the Copa America, this team's going to be heavily reliant on Balogun. Quick transitions, counterattacking. Maybe not in the first 2 games, but after that, quite a bit in the World Cup. So the player we're going to rely the most in terms of getting goals, creating opportunities, and being dangerous is not Pulisic. It's not Weah. It's not Tillman. It's not even Gio Reyna. Like, Pulisic and Gio will try to feed Balogun. They're important to that. Pulisic has to release the ball quick. I think he holds the ball for too long with the national team. But I think this World Cup will be a breakthrough moment for Balogun. He's our most dangerous player in transition. You guys are going to see that. It's going to be important. It's going to be crucial. He's coming off a very good season for Monaco, more specifically the second half. So it's like the reverse of Pulisic that had a terrible second half with Milan, even not qualifying to the Champions League. So lesson number 6 is also a prediction almost. I think this is going to be a breakthrough tournament for Balogun. And a lot of fans that don't respect him will start respecting him. Some people still think Pepe should start over him. And I think Pepe's a great player. I think he's a very good player. He's a great backup to Balogun. But Balogun's a starter, our starter. And honestly, right now, he is our best offensive player. And that includes center forwards, wingers, and attacking midfielders. Okay, lesson number 7. And if you haven't already, let me know in the comment section down below. What did you learn from this roster? Also rate it from 1 to 10, 5 being average, and drop a like in this video if you haven't already. And subscribe, okay, if you want to stay in tune with World Cup content. And also, again, thank you, Underdog, for sponsoring this video. Now, let's talk about lesson number 7. And it is to believe, right? I know the roster's not perfect, and there's issues with depth at the center back position. The goalkeepers are a bit shaky. The midfield that I talked about is worrisome, but believe. Because if you don't come into this World Cup believing that the U.S. men's national team can do something special, whether it is a quarterfinals or knock out a big team in the round 16 or round 32, there's no point in watching it, right? Just watching this team to have another mediocre World Cup where we get out of the group and we lose in the first knockout game, or we beat like in Iran in the second round, which we could play them, or Canada, and then we lose to Belgium in the round of 16. Like, there's no point. So what I'm trying to say here is try to get excited, believe in this team, believe they can do something different from previous generations, and you can experience this live in your lifetime. Because if you don't believe, if you're not excited, what is the point of watching? I know a lot of you guys are going to say, you hate a lot. I don't hate a lot. I'm working here on YouTube to try to analyze, criticize, so sometimes I may be seen as a hater. I'm criticizing the roster, as I should, for things that I'm worried about, but I am going to believe that this team can do something special in the World Cup. Otherwise, there's no point on covering it. There's no point on watching it. So to end on a positive note, believe something good can happen. Believe we can make it to the quarterfinals or further. Who knows? I believe we can, and so should you. All right, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I got to get back to work. We have $1 million here to win at the TST. This is the coverage. We do have a Senegal match preview coming up before we play Senegal on Sunday on a friendly to prepare for the World Cup. We have the live watch-along for Senegal and much more. Now, keep in mind, if you want to look up the TST, look up Tactical Manager Flow Sharks. All of our games will be on YouTube for free, so do not miss out on that. It's going to be fun, and my team is very good, so you guys want to watch it. It's the biggest 7x7 tournament in the world. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and have a great day.